Hi guys, welcome back. I know the video is late this week, and that's just because I was at Salute in London this weekend, and that kind of puts my filming schedule a little out of whack. And I know normally I try to make sort of a show report right after I get back from Salute to show you what kind of games were around and what everything looked like. But unfortunately this year we were really short staffed at the War Games Soldiers and Strategy booth, so there just was no time to really go out and shoot any footage. So no show report this year. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure you can find plenty of other good blogs and videos and stuff online that'll give you a taste of Salute 2016. However, one thing I did kind of want to talk to you about was the Salute painting contest, because I did put together an entry for that this year, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experiences. So Salute really wasn't the first time I'd ever entered a painting contest. I actually had an entry at Historicon last summer, and I did really well there. But on the other hand, it was a much smaller competition. There were some really good painters who entries there, but there just weren't as many of them, and just the overall number of entries was a lot smaller. So it was, I'd say, easier to do well there if you were a good painter. Salute is a little bit more difficult. It's not something on the level of, say, the Golden Demons or the Crystal Brush. Both of those are really big, dedicated painting contests with a lot of prestige attached, and in some cases big cash prizes, so they tend to really attract the best painters out there. Salute doesn't have that kind of level of renown, I guess, or, again, prestige, but it's kind of interesting because a lot of those same painters who enter those high-level competitions also tend to put their work into Salute show just because they're at Salute anyway, because it's such a big show. Everybody just goes there to shop and do stuff, and a lot of them are there, the same really good painters, so they just kind of put their stuff in the show. Often stuff, in fact, that has actually already won Golden Demons or goes on to win Golden Demons afterwards. So that means you're dealing with some really high-level work at Salute, and that's difficult, and especially the sci-fi and fantasy categories are super duper competitive. So I kind of knew right off the bat that I was not going to be entering either of those categories, because I just knew I did not have the time, basically, when I kind of came up with the idea of entering, which was maybe in, I don't know, February or so. When I or January, when I got the idea that I should enter, I knew I was not going to have the time to produce anything competitive in those categories. And frankly, I don't know, even if I had all the time in the world, if I could be competitive in those categories. So that being the case, I decided to go ahead and do something for a historical category, because those tend to have less entrants. There's less people usually just wanting to paint historicals in painting contests generally, and those who do, it's usually to a slightly less high standard. So I thought I might have a better chance there. And plus, I just like historicals. I do a lot with them. I think they're fun, and I feel like they don't get enough love when it comes to painting compared to the fantasy and sci-fi stuff. So I wanted to really just try to do something for the historicals as well, myself, I guess. So here you can see my model, and it's kind of a strange hybrid between a historical unit and a diorama, because it's got kind of the drama and storytelling of a diorama and kind of the fully developed base work or groundwork you'd expect on a diorama, but at the same time the figures are all individually based, so you can remove them to do stuff with them kind of in other context. I ended up putting it actually in the historical unit category at Salute, because they don't have a historical diorama category, and I knew the general dioramas would be just too hard to compete with. All the figures here are by Perry, and they come from their retreat from Russia Range. I've had models from this series for a while now, and when I was trying to figure out what to do for my entry, I really gravitated towards them, because you've got so many models that are just packed with character and movement and drama, and they've got really interesting mixes of equipment often, and so all those things make them really suitable for setting a scene like you want to do for something like this. And also, just the variation makes them a lot more fun to paint, at least in my kind of personal opinion, from just a ranked, unit where all the guys are exactly the same. So most of you are probably wondering how I ended up doing in the competition. Well, Salute only really gives actual medals for first and second place in every category, and I didn't end up getting that. But I was a finalist, or I got honorable mention, or whatever you want to call it, in the historical unit category, which I do not think is bad at all, considering the competition and considering the fact that I really had no idea, what to expect with something at this level. And I got to talk to some other really serious painters, which was a lot of fun. It's not something I've really gotten to do before. And I got to see some other really good models, kind of in the flesh, some stuff that, you usually only see in photographs. And that was really illuminating for me because I got a better sense of, what it takes, I guess, to really win, what that some of that really high level painting actually looks like in the flesh, which is quite interesting, at least from my perspective. And I had tons of fun painting the model too. And I know I learned a lot too, because I was really pushing myself to do my best work the whole time and kind of trying out some techniques maybe that I wouldn't do normally. And in the process of that, I know that my painting got better, that I learned some things which, I'll be able to go on and use in the future. And I think for that reason, I'd really encourage everyone to enter painting contests, even if you don't really think you have a chance of winning, just because it's really a good way to test your abilities and kind of push yourself into improving and, getting better and just really just seeing what's possible, I guess. So again, that's it. That's all for now, I guess. Again, I had a really good time at Salute. I'm really tired now, so I'm going to go have a well-deserved beer and put up my feet. And I'll see you next time.